To the Middle East now, where Israel's Security Cabinet is currently meeting for a very crucial vote to ratify the ceasefire and hostage release deal in Gaza. Let's get the latest now from Israel with our correspondent Sarah Coates, who's joining us from Tel Aviv. Sarah, good to have you with us. Good afternoon. So about 2 hours ago, Benjamin Netanyahu said that hostage release was to begin in earnest on Sunday if, of course, the Security Cabinet approved the deal. Take us through what you are getting as the latest on the ground pertaining to the talks.
Yes, hello there. That meeting, as you mentioned, is underway as we go to air in Jerusalem. It's also just been announced that in 2 hours' time, the wider cabinet meeting will also take place. That is expected to go into the night as these ministers debate this deal and also vote on it. Now, it is expected to pass, and this is despite fierce opposition from the far right here in Israel. Now, ahead of this Security Cabinet meeting, there was a consultation between the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich. He's also the leader of the party Religious Zionism. Now, he fiercely opposes this deal, but we are getting that he has said to Benjamin Netanyahu that while he will vote against this deal, he will not bolt the coalition. But the same cannot be said for the National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir. He also fiercely opposes this hostage and ceasefire deal and said that if it is approved, he will leave the coalition. Now, in saying this, his departure would not be enough to bring down the government. So at this hour, it certainly does appear as though the government would survive this departure of Itamar Ben-Gvir. Once again, this vote is expected to go through. It is expected to pass this ceasefire and hostage deal. And you're right, we did have a tweet from the Prime Minister's office just a couple of hours ago. He said that the release of hostages can be carried out according to the planned outline. That is, of course, given if it is voted and approved by the cabinet. So what we can expect is it to start on Sunday. It would be expected to start around lunchtime, and Israeli media is reporting that these first 3 Israeli hostages would be exchanged for Palestinian prisoners around 4 p.m. local time. So certainly crucial hours and crucial days ahead.
Absolutely, Sarah. But what is currently taking so long with the deal? I mean, I've heard you talking about, of course, those that are currently opposing some parts of it. Reports indicate that Hamas had already said today that obstacles that actually arose in relation to the terms of this agreement were resolved long ago. So what are some of the still outstanding issues that you're hearing of?
Well, we do understand, of course, that these ministers will be speaking about the names of these Palestinian prisoners that are set to be released. Once again, it is expected to be approved. This is basically just a formality. So this meeting is underway as we go to where the wider cabinet meeting expected to happen in just 2 hours' time. And it is widely believed that this will pass. What it does need is a majority. People can still vote against it. All it needs is a majority for this to go through. It certainly seems as though the Prime Minister is very confident that that will happen, putting out that tweet just a short while ago saying it is all expected to go ahead on schedule to Sunday.
And any word from the US, the biggest ally to Israel at this stage, pertaining to the deal, Sarah?
Sorry, can you please repeat that? I couldn't quite get you there.
Yes, absolutely, Sarah. I'm asking if there's been any word pertaining to the deal by Israel's biggest ally, that is the United States, at this stage.
Well, of course, there's been a lot of pressure put on Israel by the United States. It was really seen as a joint effort between the outgoing Biden administration and his negotiating team, and also the incoming President Donald Trump, to really get this over the line. So certainly the United States has had a lot of influence on this deal, and it certainly really has been pushing Israel to get it over the line and agree to this deal. We also do need to remember what we heard from the incoming President Donald Trump when he was actually voted back into the White House. He said that there will be, quote, hell to pay if these hostages are not released by the time he comes into office.
Absolutely. And the big issue, Sarah, and we've never failed to highlight, is, of course, the humanitarian crisis that is still unfolding in Gaza, with Doctors Without Borders indicating that the promise of the hundreds of trucks per day is not even feasible technically at this point. Currently, it is a logistical nightmare, while the World Health Organization says only one hospital, which is Al-Auda, is partially functioning in the north.
You're certainly right. It is an absolutely dire situation on the ground in Gaza, and it's still yet to be revealed exactly what mechanism will be put in place to get this massive surge of humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip. Now, what we can tell you is that right now international partners from right around the region are really working around the clock. There's aid being stockpiled in Egypt. There's also aid being stockpiled in Jordan. And right now there is a big effort underway to get the Rafah border crossing down in the south of Gaza reopened to get this massive influx of humanitarian aid in to Gaza. But as you said, the situation on the ground is extremely dire, and given the 15-month war and the scale of damage and destruction in the Gaza Strip, actually distributing this aid, given the damage there, will be incredibly tough. So this is, of course, one of the other challenges that these aid groups will have to be focusing on over the course of the next few days and the next few weeks, the next few months, is to get this aid in to the people who so desperately need it.
Thank you so much for that comprehensive update. SABC News correspondent Sarah Coates there in Tel Aviv.